Yeah, so I wanted to just kind of dive right into this topic. Today is a full moon. It's a beautiful full moon in Libra, and I will be touching base on that in a moment. But I know that a lot of the people in this group here are moon babies. You know, you could be moon seeds, but also there are so many of you who work with the power of the moon, and you're so called to the nighttime and the moon and her glory. And of course, that is just part of the earth. The moon is an extension of our planet, right? Some people like to think, well, I'm here on earth and I'm here in the physical and the cosmos is out there. Well, of course, we have this beautiful rock. Thank you, Casey. I love your energy too. We have this beautiful rock filled with energy that illuminates our entire planet at night, that is our only moon here on Earth. Whereas so many other planets have a few moons, we have this one special creature. And that is why she is an extension of the earth. If it weren't for our earth, that rock would have not been pulled into a gravitational pull. And she interacts with us so much. The moon is typically the symbol in tarot and in a lot of ancient cultures. It's the symbol of night and I want to say shadow. And a lot of times you're going to hear that word shadow when we're talking about shadow work or things that come out at night. You know, when we're drawn to the moon, when we're feeling that energy, especially when we have something like the full moon right now, it illuminates everything in our lives that is creating a shadow. And just to explain that a little bit, because again, people hear the term shadow and they think darkness and they think evil, and it's like, oh, there's these sides of myself that I just don't want anyone to see. I don't want them to come to light. But a lot of our work on this planet is to accept the shadow sides of ourselves as part of us. We are human beings. We have fears. We have dark thoughts. We have things that limit us, and that's okay. We are on this journey together, and we are all here experiencing that together, experiencing that, bringing and illuminating those shadow sides and bringing them to light so that they can be healed. I say that because it is a full moon. The full moon completely illuminates everything that we might not want to see, that we might not want the world to see. But this is a time right now, today. That's what the ancients did. When the new moon, they set their intentions. The full moon, the light was at its peak. And this is the time where you're seeing the things that, like, maybe you set an intention for abundance or for love, and you get to the full moon and you start seeing the areas where you may be holding yourself back. And usually that comes to fear or self-doubt, because we know in the universe, in the universal picture, we are all perfect. We are all part of nature, and nature is perfect, and nature is divine. And so a lot of what I think people are going through right now is just those things being illuminated by the moon. And it just gives us an opportunity to let them go. So first and foremost, if anyone's doing any spells tonight, I don't particularly do a lot of spells myself anymore. I just like to sit outside and put on my glasses and look at the moon because it's like a magnifying glass and soak in her energy. And I like to ask the moon, you know, light up those things that are holding me back so that I can go in and I can change and I can shift and I can work on them, because I do want my life to be amazing and divine. So having said that, this particular moon is so beautiful because it's in the sign of Libra. I know we're going to extend a little bit into astrology here, but this one's really important, especially for what's going on right now in the world. Libra is the sign of relationships, and it is also the sign of balance. So having said that, here we are talking about the moon swooping in, the light shining on those things that we might possibly have to work on. And in this particular instance, a lot of what's going to come up are relationships. And that is including your relationship to yourself, number one. Number one, it always starts with you. Your relationship with who you are inside and those things that are coming up. Your relationships, obviously, to other people, to your loved ones in particular, and those people that you might be quarantined with. I know a lot of people right now are quarantined with their wives or their husbands or their kids, and they're like, oh my God, I can't stand these people anymore. Now is a great time to start looking at what's coming up around that. Is also your relationship to your businesses, anything that you're doing out there where you're working with other people. Libra is a very people-oriented sign. And it is also your relationship to the world. And the second part of that was balance. Libra is all about loving and nurturing other people. And that Libran energy, like if you ever met a Libra, they're some of the most loving and giving people out there because they are constantly giving all that they have to other people. And so there's two sides of this here, right? When we're talking about balance, it is a true balance in many different areas of our life. And this is definitely related to this moon because this is what the moon is shining on right now, is like, where is our life out of balance? It could be, for most of us, where am I giving too much? Where am I giving too much of myself and not really taking the time to be here for me? That is a big one, and I'm going to start with that because it's really interesting to see how many people just went from being a workaholic, working at a company, sort of being a little bit of a slave to whoever you're working with, directly to being quarantined at home and not stopping the work. In fact, some people are doing more work. And right now, this moon in Libra is shining a spotlight on that imbalance. Where are we giving too much? Not only to maybe like an employer that really, let's be honest, should have taken the time to let people deal with everything that's coming up with this pandemic, and that's my own personal opinion, as I feel that people that are slaving their workers away at home like they did in the office really aren't understanding that we're going through something really big here and not giving people the time to deal with that on an emotional level. That is way out of balance. But then those of us that are entrepreneurs, I know some of us like dove into our work. We're like, yeah, well, we're all used to working at home, and there's this Aries energy in April, and I'm just gonna swoop in and just take charge and start doing a lot of this work. And that moon is also asking us, where are we out of balance? Where are we not tending to ourselves? Because again, that's the first relationship we have. And where are we potentially not tending to our relationship with others? So if you think about this, again, here we have this moon, it's in Libra, it's highlighting balance, it's highlighting relationships. Some of you might be stuck at home. I'll just give you a few examples. Some of you might be stuck at home with your partners and you're like looking for every way possible to get out of the house because it's like, oh my gosh, I can't stand this person. Maybe now's a good time to look at your relationship and look at, why can't we be together right now in the physical for more than a few hours without wanting to, pull our hair out? What is it that might need to change? A lot of relationships go on autopilot where people are out working, they're dealing with the kids, everything becomes an autopilot routine. And we don't often get these moments where, everything goes out. It's almost like taking a trip and going to a secluded cabin in the middle of the woods. And you're like, what do we do now? We have no television. We have no internet. We have each other. What do we do? This is a great opportunity for you to get to know the people that you are in quarantine with. Your lovers, your children, your family, your roommates, your friends. I've seen so many roommates get together and start creating the most wonderful content. My friend Lynn in particular is creating this Romeo and Juliet theater production with her dogs, her and her roommate's 2 little mini dogs. It's adorable. I mean, this never would have happened if the two of them haven't gotten together and like came up with this creative thing to do. But more so, the moon is really illuminating, where is it in your life that you haven't really taken the time to dive into that relationship, or maybe you've been with someone for a really long time and you really haven't spent time together in a long time. Where are you at right now? Where are the both of you at in your life? Where are you at in the partnership? And for those of you that aren't in a partnership, like myself, you're hanging out by yourself, this is such a great opportunity to get to know you. And I know that that is the scariest thing that I could say to some people, like, oh dear God, like I don't want to get to know myself. But that is where this full moon is illuminating our shadow sides. And it's actually quite a beautiful process if you surrender to it, you allow it to happen, because anything that comes up right now is something that just needs to be let go of. We fear what's under the curtain. We fear what's under the blanket, the monsters under the bed that we all have, the ones in the closet. But what do you see a lot of times? What do you tell children? If you had a child, it's like, there's a monster in my closet. What do? You go and you open the closet and you shine the light and you go, look, there's no monster. It's just a shadow. And that's exactly what we're all doing right now with this moon illuminating that. So just a bit of a recap, and I'm going to do a little bit of a card reading here for you guys. This full moon is illuminating the shadow sides of things that have to do with relationships and balance. So first and foremost, how can I spend more time with myself, getting to know myself? How can I spend more time really getting to know people that are in my life, especially my loved ones, especially the ones that are in quarantine with me? And also, what is out of balance? If I'm feeling off, for example, if I'm feeling exhausted right now, that probably means I need to sleep. That's all it is. I need to sleep. I'm out of energy, I'm wiped, I need to rest. Rest creates rebalance in our body. Sorry, there's like a truck or plane or something going by. But rest creates that balance in our body. It's the same thing with working too much, eating too much, stress eating, binging, watching TV, trying to, where is it that your life is out of balance right now? And it could be a number of different things. That is what this moon is bringing up. You guys, by the way, are welcome. I can see everything that you're typing, so you are welcome to ask questions. You're welcome to comment. I'm seeing them and I'm getting to them. So I did want to give you a bit of a little tarot reading. I also want to thank the people that watched my divination video. If you haven't, divination is just tuning into our intuition and using various tools like tarot cards. And I had several people come to me and say, you know what? Tarot is so fascinating, and thanks to your video, I just went out and bought a deck and I started playing with it, and I love that. I do these videos because I feel called to do them, and I know that there's at least one person out there that is listening, that is getting the information that they need. But I would love to hear from you in the comments during the video, after the video. Maybe you're watching this on YouTube later, but I would love to hear from you as to if this resonated, or if this is something that you would like to see more of, talking about the moon, talking about the planets, doing card readings, because that helps me tune into the audience and what you guys want, because I'm going to do this over here by myself every day anyway. I already have this wisdom, I'm getting this knowledge, and for me to share it, I would love to know if this is something that resonates with you, and if not, what does resonate with you. So a little side note there. I am going to pull some cards right now. And first of all, I did pull a card earlier just to be like, what is the theme of this video and this chat that we're going to have? And usually I'm going to pull cards in the minute on camera, but I couldn't give this one up because it's the Nine of Wands. And look at this card right here. This is the Phoenix Rising card. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. By the way, this is the Hidden Realm. This deck is absolutely gorgeous. It taps into the fairies and the hidden realm and the mystical part of Earth. But look at this. Phoenix Rising is the theme. Is that not the theme of all of 2020? We were just talking about this on my video with Amber, where this is the moment where all of us are rising like the phoenix. The symbology of the phoenix rising is somebody who walks through the fire, who walks through hell, who walks through that darkness and that underworld that the moon illuminates, faces their demons and comes out of it like this bursting light of an absolutely changed person. And that is the theme of all of 2020. Yes, Casey, we were just talking about that. That's the theme of 2020 for everyone. You can't really rise like the phoenix out of the ashes if there is no fire that burns everything down. Having said that, no one needs to burn anything down. Literally, this is just the energy. Throughout the year, we're going to see a lot of different planetary alignments. We're going to see a lot of energies, particularly with the earth, to push us to walk through that fire, to open up that closet, to see that that demon really isn't as scary as we thought it was. And by the end of this year, so many of you, because I've been through this the last few years, so many of you are going to come out of this and be like, F yes. You're gonna be floating there and like, I burned and mother of dragons, like I walked out of this flaming building and I'm totally fine. Yes, I love it, love it, love it. So that's the theme. I'm gonna pull a few more cards. Let's see. I love this deck. I also really want to say what I'm getting right now from my guidance team is that one thing I didn't mention, sorry, I just dropped a whole bunch of cards. Woo. I gotta pick them up. That happens. See, when you're doing tarot and cards just fly out, which this is a good one, I'll show you in a minute. Cards fly out, that means those are the cards you need to read. But one thing I want to mention that I didn't mention a minute ago is that when we're creating balance, and this is what this group, the Magic Grove, is all about, right? It's all about Earth and Mother Nature and connecting to nature. I know a lot of times that you hear, we all know, if I feel icky, I need to go out in earth and ground. I need to go walk through nature, take a hike. That's going to make me feel amazing. And yes, that is a beautiful way to create balance. But one more thing about nature is that she is in perfect harmony. Everything on the planet works in harmony with everything else on the planet. The animal kingdom, even though, some animals are predators and some animals are prey, the animal kingdom works together. Millions and billions of animals on this earth have found a way to create an ecosystem that works for everyone. So one of the things we're seeing about our balance and creating balance with the world outside of us right now is how are we looking at the world and how are we separating ourselves from everyone? That comes with blaming people, shaming people, judging people. Anytime you judge someone or you blame someone, you are actually putting yourself in you'll hear me say this a million times, you are putting yourself in the victim mindset. I'm blaming that person because of what they did. They created this situation. That is us not taking responsibility for our own lives, for our own actions, for our own reactions to this global situation that is happening. So first and foremost, that creates a huge imbalance because we are now giving our power away to this person and we're saying, well, you're responsible. Well, we're also being victims of this person and we're absolutely giving them all of our power and saying that we don't have the power to deal with this situation. We all have the power to deal with every situation. But also in nature, when you're looking at the trees and the plants, everything grows in such beautiful symmetry. We have the ability to do that as well. That tree doesn't go like, hey, pine, I don't like your branches, like you're blocking my light, get out of here, and start judging it. Like nature doesn't do that. It finds a way to work perfectly together. All of the elements of nature are so gorgeous and they find a way to work together. And that is what we are being asked to do in 2020. There's going to be just an uproar right now in this moment of people, again, blaming, shaming, throwing it out there, trying to put this whole thing on somebody else's shoulders. And we're going to come back to, well, what's happening in ourselves? Why am I blaming somebody? Is it because I'm not taking responsibility for my own shit? Is it because I feel a victim and I need to stand in my power? That's a really big thing that's coming up in 2020. But you can tune into this energy and you can clear that energy by just going outside and seeing how perfect nature handles this. Everything is in this beautiful natural rhythm, working with the seasons, working with the earth, animals working with one another. And that is the ability, again, that we have as well. So that is something I just wanted to pull up. Let me just check my battery here. My phone is... I'm going to do a read before my phone dies. So here we go. I'm going to finish with this. I pulled this card, which I love. It's the 10 of Wands, right? So we just had the 9 of Wands. We just had the 9 of Wands, which is the Phoenix rising. And then we pulled the 10 of Wands. So once that Phoenix has risen, once that energy is like, F yes, I'm going out in the world, I'm going to be myself and I'm going to do my thing. We're like, look at this kid. He's holding on to this egg for dear life. He's like, but I'm this magic. I have all this magic inside me and I don't know what to do with it. And so many people right now are going through this feeling of like, well, I know I have all this magic inside me, but you're holding on to it for dear life and you're learning how to access it. You're learning how to tap into it because that egg isn't ready to hatch yet. You're in that, you'll hear a lot of people say that, you're in that caterpillar phase right now. Many people are in that caterpillar phase where it's like, I'm just discovering who I am. I'm realizing that I'm not meant to be a caterpillar. I'm meant to be a butterfly. But I'm not ready to go out into the world yet because I haven't quite learned how to interact with this beautiful egg of magic inside of me. And I think a lot of people are in that situation right now. You know, this is the Phoenix rising. This is that moment of like, I need to take a stand and do something different. I need to change things. But then also, we take a step back and go, well, okay, but I need to be the one to change my life. I need to be the one to create these shifts in my own world. And how do I do that? And so it's okay to be in that gestation period right now. It's okay to sit with this full moon in Libra, looking at your relationship with yourself, looking at your relationship with other people, and just seeing what comes up. See what comes up. It's Aries season as well, so it is a time to take action and make those changes. And I love this. Look at that. We're getting all of them in the row. By the way, I shuffled these, but now we've got the 8 of Wands. So we had the 9 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, and now we've got the 8 of Wands. And Wands is fire, which makes sense because we're in Aries season. I love this red head as well. The 8 of Wands is a woman or a person who sees her target. They know what they want. And many people right now are like, I know I want something different in my life. I want love. I want abundance. I want to find my soul purpose. And many people are in that zone. You see what you want. It's like right there. And this 8 of Wands energy is the person that sees that and knows that she has all of the skills of like think of like Katniss in the Hunger Games, pulling that arrow back. She knows that she has the skills and everything she needs to hit her target when the time is right. And this 8 of Wands energy says that time is now. This is not a waiting for the target, waiting for it to be the perfect opportunity. The 8 of Wands energy is an opportunity has come right this moment for that shift to happen. So when you look at all 3 of these cards together, the opportunity is right now to have that Phoenix rising moment, to say enough is enough, I want my life to change, and then to look inside yourself and look at the magic that you have and discover how it is that you can make that change. So I really want to emphasize that the world in 2020, this is not a slow energy. This is not like, hey, we're just going to gradually move into this new world. Obviously, as you can see what's going on right now, The moon, the cosmos, the planets are going crazy beans this year. There are so many insane alignments that are happening that are breaking things, like crushing structures, breaking things in people's lives, swooping the carpet from underneath us and completely upturning our entire lives in like a week, right? That's the energy of this year. And so when that happens, it gives us the opportunity, I don't want to say react, it gives us the opportunity to take action that quickly in response, inspired response, intuitive response. Oh my gosh, I love this. I pulled, by the way, we have all wands cards. So this is like fire, fire, fire. And that's like, that is such a like go, 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 go energy. And I don't want to say go, go, go energy as in, you know, aggressive or like pushing, but it's really about taking action. Like action is needed right now. But we've got this Three of Wands energy. Now this is gorgeous because it's the last card that you got. And what Three of Wands means, I mean, look at this. It's like my most favorite card. Oh, it's beautiful. It's two people that are coming together to create another being. So that could be physically, like, that could be you and your partner right now, or like having such a crazy time, and you actually come together in your partnerships and you're like, hey, we're going to make this work. There could be a lot of babies being formed right now in quarantine, of course. 9 months from now, there's going to be a lot of babies happening. But this could also be something at a more figurative and metaphorical level. I like to think this, when I get this card, it means that I am creating balance within myself so that I can birth the thing that I came here to birth, the thing I was meant to do. And so for many of you, it might be literal. It might be talking about relationships because it is Libra season and that would make sense. But again, it's talking about that relationship with ourselves. And how do I create that balance inside of myself so that I can birth and I can create that thing that I want in my life, whatever it is that you desire. And many of us, okay, all of us, are being asked right now to take a look at the world, to take a look at how imbalanced it is, how unfair it is, how unjust it is. And this is our moment to ask ourselves, what are we doing to serve the planet? How is our relationship with the world, and how can we transform everything that's happening inside ourselves to create that balance in our inner worlds so that we can go out there and serve humanity in a way that they are going to need it these next few years? Because these next few years, it's going to be years of change, not this crazy. This is the peak moment. This is the most insane, like disruptive moment right now in a lot of 2020 is going to be. But moving forward, you know, I know that if any of you that are called to watch this video, any of you that were called to be in my group, you've heard me say this before, I truly feel that you are called here to help save the planet. Otherwise, you would not be here. And let that be a message to you from your soul that now is the time, to discover your magic. And now is the time to rise like the phoenix. And that is your message today from this moon. Look at partnerships. Look at the relationship with yourself. Find where the imbalances are and how you can create balance in your life. And then sit down and really think about, I would say not think, intuitively feel, where is it that you want to go in this new world that we're creating? Where do you want to serve humanity? And for those of you that are afraid to step out there and be seen and be leaders and be known, I have a lot of clients coming to me right now that this is their jam, is like, okay, I'm telling them you are meant to be a leader. So many people. I know that's my mission, is to teach leaders and to bring more leaders to light. I myself am one and went through this process as well. But if that's you and you're like, nope, 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 I don't want to be seen. I don't want people to see me. I don't want people to see those parts of myself, that's just the work that you've got to do right now, is how can you get to a place where you accept all of those different shadow sides and the light sides of yourself? How do you create balance? And when you create that balance, you are actually going to feel excited about being out in the world. So right now, that fear of not wanting to be seen, that maybe responsibility that some of you feel coming up, or that you are here to lead people, that is going to be something that's exciting to you. It is a little bit of work to get there because all of that fear is coming from within ourselves. But just know that work is going to happen, and eventually you will be excited. And I will say this, I just want to tell you a little bit of a story. I know I said I was going to end this, but a little bit of a story about my life and what happened to me is, many of you might know this if you read my bio, and you might not, but when I was first called to wake up, I had the Morrigan, the Irish goddess of war and fate, come to me very strongly as my matron goddess, my deity. That's the necklace that I wear, is in honor of her. And she basically said to me, you are here to be a general in my army. There is a war. It's not a type of war that anyone has seen before, but you are going to be a general and you are going to lead the troops. And I was like, what? But then the more I felt into that, the more everything in my life made sense. I've always been a leader. I'm an Aries. I've always been in managing people, in charge of teams. And something about that resonated with me. I was like, you know what? I think she's right. Like, holy crap. It's so scary to think about being a general and being at the front lines and like diving into whatever war is happening. And it could be like a physical war and it could be a spiritual war. We're seeing a lot of that right now. We're not sure what's going to happen. But I did have that fear. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be responsible for other people. But you know what? No one is responsible for anyone else. We are responsible for coming into this world and healing the stuff that is part of the human condition. We're souls having a human experience, and we come here, we get all this crap thrown on us and all this conditioning thrown on us, and that's what we're here to heal first and foremost. But when we do, we're here to serve in the way that our soul came here to serve. And I discovered that just going down the path I was meant to go down made my life 1,000 times more amazing. I mean, there's the fear that makes it feel gross at first, but once I actually did the thing and got out of my mind, oh my gosh, everything opened up for me. It was like, my friend was just saying this the other day. She goes, I'm making all of these things and it just feels too easy and I'm wondering what's going to go wrong. And I said, no, if it feels easy, it's because you are in alignment with your soul path. If it feels difficult, it means there are challenges you're overcoming, potentially to learn how to step into that path, but a lot of it is coming from within yourself. So just want to say that. That was I totally know how you feel. That was me as well. I did not want to be this general. I kept being like, nope, 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 nope. I'm not teaching people. I'm not doing it. I just wanted to be a hermit and go write books and like live in the woods. And guess what? My soul does not want that for me. So you are seeing right now in the flesh on this video, exactly, what I was meant to be doing. And I'm seeing that for so many of you. And one last thing I'd like to tell people, I do the cards, I do guidance sessions for a living, and I have a lot of wonderful clients that come to me wondering what their life path is. They want to talk to their soul family. They want to know what's coming in their life, how to adjust to these changes, what their destiny is. I do all of that. You guys are more than welcome to book a session with me. You can just message me. And again, I want to encourage all of you, if you haven't, somebody go pick up a tarot deck, pick up a pendulum, watch that divination video, because you can get a lot of these answers for yourself if you tune in. So happy full moon, everyone. I love you so much. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, please tell me in the comments if this resonated with you. Let me know if this is something that you would like for me to continue doing. Oh, and one last thing. I will be hosting a Moon Magic challenge. I think like a 16-day bringing magic and abundance into your life. It's going to be free. I'm hoping to do it in April. It might be May. I will definitely let all of you know, but it's something that it's really simple. You can just sign up for, and then every day for that 16 days, I will be giving you daily tips on how to bring magic into your life. And the goal is at the end of that 16 days, you'll be like, oh my gosh, my life is changing. I mean, it takes that little time to change if you really dive into it. That is the gift I want to bring to all of you, with a lot of the wisdom that I have learned, and I'm really excited about that. So again, I'm hoping it's going to be April. It could be May. It's going to start on one of the new moons because that's where we set our intentions, and it's going to go through to the following full moon. So look forward to that. It's going to be free. It's going to be exciting. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Lynn. I love all of you, and I will see you on the group page. Bye, loves. Mwah, 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 mwah. Remember, let that be your last vision. Bye.